operate my own school. I didn't have to go and ask the public school, can I be an administrator over there? You know, no. And I sit at the same meetings that they do, the same conversation. And the thing is, I sit at these meetings not incompetent.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know what my school needs in order to benefit our students best, right? So when we talk about budgeting, we talk about meetings in budgeting and best practices for classroom management. I understand what they're talking about, but I didn't have to go to school for 20 years or whatever the case may be to be an administrator. I just had to open my own school. Had to learn on the fly. There's probably some things that I could maybe learn if I went to school, but technically,
on a job training.
That's what it is. Technically, and if you want to come work at my school, technically, I could require you to have a teaching degree, right? But I don't need one. But
that's a great point,
right?
But so I'm hearing a product developer. You research and development. You created a product, got a product line. You got a beauty supply store.
True.
You have an entrepreneurial academy. You're an author.
I am a published author.
Man,
I didn't think we even said that.
I mean, what else? Like, you almost went to the WNBA. Like, man.
I don't know about all that, but I do got some G. If you want to get back to that,
I see.
I don't know if I almost went to the WNBA, but I do got some G.
It's almost like I don't even know if that would have been a good idea because it's like you got all these other talents.
Probably would have held me back.
Why would you want to? Yeah, exactly. Like the world needs you. You gotta get out here and teach the babies.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, so I couldn't require our students to publish books. I don't know if it was said, but all of the students at our school have to start a small business. That you can't be promoted, right? You're gonna be drop out of school if you don't start a business.
Okay.
And also if you don't publish a book. And so technically, publishing a book and selling that book is a business in and of itself, right? You're self-employed, you know, by selling your book.
Right.
So by default, all of our students have to publish a book. They have to sell those books and make money off of it. So that makes you a business owner, an entrepreneur in and of itself.
There you go.
I
love it.
But I couldn't require that of our students and not be doing that myself. So the business owner I had, but at the moment we decided to tell our students that they had to publish books, one, again, I had to go into the lab, right? And the lab is my laptop and my cell phone, and do the research and look up, how do I publish a book on my own? If I wanted to be self-published, how do I do that? Because we require our students to publish books, but it ain't like we knocking down somebody's door in New York like, hey, I got these 15 black children in Rockford.
Yeah.
You gonna publish their books for us? No, we got to figure out how to do it ourselves. So in making sure that I understood how to publish books, I figured that out for myself first. How do you publish a book? What are the steps from step one to completely publish to actually making money off of it? So I figured it out for myself, and I started publishing a math series called The Mathematician.
Okay.
And so now that I know how to do it, now I can take that understanding, and it's easy for me to tell my students, yeah, you got to write a book. Yeah, you got to publish it because it's something that I did. No, I didn't do it at your age, but you have an opportunity that I didn't have. I wish, man, if I could have been publishing books while I was selling gym shoes and working at Chuck E. Cheese, then I would have been doing it.
Did you ever have a mentor when you were younger or in your early adult life or now? Have you ever had a mentor?
In my younger ages, no. But when I got to college, yes, there was a sister by the name of Connie T-Berry. So she ran track, and I believe she did the high jump in the 96 Olympics in Atlanta.
Oh, wow. I
think that was the one. End up placing, somewhere in the top 20 in the Olympics. So this was a sister. She's a black woman. And she was the head track and field coach at NIU when I was a student there. Still is, actually. Still is the head track coach. That's who I try to introduce your daughter to.
Okay.
But nonetheless, so just, being a black woman, and I don't even know if me and her ever really had like direct conversations about being a mentor, but there wasn't a lot of black women around me when I went away to school. And obviously a black woman who's in athletics is just somebody that, I focused on. Right. So she was a mentor for me from a distance. And then as I got older and came into the Nation of Islam, then I started to develop mentors spiritually.
Okay.
And that mentorship spiritually, carried over into everything in my life.
Okay.
Right? Which included entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So, no, I've never really had a direct mentor, at least not coming up. And now, as I get older and get deeper into entrepreneurship, I definitely have mentors that I look up to. And again, nobody that like I have direct contact with. I don't necessarily have a direct mentor that I can call. No, I don't have anybody like that. But there's people that I've had conversations with that have offered guidance that I can use and that I can depend on. And again, I'm really big on doing research. Like I'll Google the mess out of some stuff. I'll read some text. I'll read a book. So I have mentors that have written books, that have podcasts, that have videos, that have things that they talk about online that I read about. And so they're kind of mentors from a distance. But no, I don't have anybody that I could just pick up the phone and say, hey, I need this information in business. Like I've always been just go get it. Like go figure it out. Just go get it.
And I kind of wanted to highlight that because I like what you said. Because there's a lot of people, they say that they want to get into business. But they always say it's always an excuse as to why they can't get it done. But what you just got done saying was real powerful. How you had this product, it was you said it was too watery, so you had to go back to the drawing board instead of giving up. You said I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna do my research. You said I got to get my product into Walmart. You didn't have anybody to talk to about that. You talked to yourself. You got on that computer and you figured it out. So I think that's very important, and I want the audience to really focus in on that. Is sometimes you might not have a mentor,
right?
But that shouldn't stop you on your purpose, on your plan. You should still keep moving forward. I think that's very just dope, that you did that and you just really took that initiative to not wait around and kind of do for self. So
all day
I just
long.
want to stop and just kind of give you flowers about that. That is awesome. And I really want the audience to really pick up on that message and really hone in on that. Like, don't let anything hold you back.
Right.
Don't have any type of excuses. Just get up there and do it. So I think that's. I gotta give you some kudos for that. That's off the chain.
I'm really tough on my daughter.
Okay.
Because of that, like you're a black woman in America. Okay. It's gonna be hard on you.
Yeah.
And so not getting it done is not an excuse. Right. Like there's no excuse.
There you go.
If the job is to clean your bedroom, then get your bedroom clean. Like I'm really hard on my child, and that's because I'm hard on myself when it comes to just taking care of business. Like business has to be taken care of, and not only does it have to be taken care of, but it's got to be done right.
Right.
So before I interviewed with you, I was working on something for the school.
Okay.
And like I didn't want to stop doing what I was doing. It's got to get done.
Working.
I'm always working. It's got to get done. I think it's like 10:30 at night right now, but it's got to get done. So when I called my husband back there, I spent the 5 minutes showing him how to do it to make sure it's getting done and to make sure it gets done right. Business got to be taken care of. Like
always working.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know if I get that from my mama.
Yeah.
She get it from her mama. I don't know where I get that from, but I got to get it and I got to get it done right.
Well, I want to kind of segue into the last part of this because, you've been dropping some jewels. Like, this has been an awesome interview so far. So I am very excited to hear this last part. What is the plan? This is the last part of the podcast. This is people with a purpose that are backed by a plan. So specifically, what is the plan going forward with Kika First Entrepreneurial Academy?
With our academy, the plan is we're gonna build a campus.
Okay.
I don't really see us buying a facility and renovating it. I see us building a state-of-the-art green facility here in Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
And I'm gonna claim it and put it out there that's the plan. That's our future.
Okay.
Is to build a campus that ultimately, not only are we a private school, but we're a private prep school, so where students can come in from all over the world, and they have housing, and they go to school on campus, right? There's high schools out there like that.
Yeah.
And so, not only do we want to be the best school in our area, but I want to be the best school in the entire universe. Like, if you go to Pluto, they still not educating the babies the way we are here on earth. Like,
I love it.
the absolute best educational institution in the entire universe. That's the goal. It really is. And I can see us building a campus from the ground up. And just recently we hired our first set of teachers, which is crazy to me. Like, I was telling my husband that it's so surreal to know that that's a big responsibility, right? We hired 4 teachers that have children at home, right? They got wives and they got people to take care of, and it's surreal to know that. I hope it don't sound arrogant, don't come off wrong, but like their livelihood is in our hands, right? Like that's a heavy weight, but it's also it also feels good to be able to do that for other families, right? And so
I think it's a dope. Outside looking in, I think it's a good thing, because now I just because I'm kind of close to the situation. To me, it kind of frees you guys up to kind of use your so many talents that you have and so many skills you got to kind of affect more people.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a good lateral move in the right direction.
Absolutely. So our school is growing to the point where not only are we affecting children, but we're also affecting the adults in our community now by creating jobs who can then affect more children. Right? I can only touch 2 at a time, but with the 4 teachers that we hired in my husband's hands, that's 6 people. Now we can touch 12 babies. Right? So I see us developing a campus, and ultimately I would like to create and I don't even know if we would call it Kikafers at that point, but I would like to create what would be the equivalent of a community college or a career college, if you will. You may not get a degree in like accounting from our college, but I want to create a college where people can get a degree in entrepreneurship and like get a real degree in entrepreneurship. Don't just come in
like practical stuff.
Like, what are some things that every entrepreneur needs to know, right? So everywhere you go, you got to take those gen eds.
Maybe like a credit thing where you put
something, right? Like
good credit.
You got to have good credit.
You graduate, you got to have a 750.
You got to, right? You got to have good credit. But not only are we teaching about good credit, but you're actually learning how to help others get good credit, because that's a field in entrepreneurship. Like, that's a business. Like any and everything, like anything could be a business. Right. Like literally anything. Facts. I could be the best doorknob turner on the planet. What if I turn the doorknob so smooth? Right? Matter of fact, we're not even gonna say doorknob turner. What if I could push the button on the elevator in such a smooth way that you paid me to sit in the elevator and push the button for you?
Push the button all day.
Right? I look so good. I look so clean. I make you feel so good when you get on that elevator, right? You don't need elevator music because of my great conversation that I bring for that 30 seconds while we going up to the 75th floor. But I do such a great job entertaining you, or being your therapist, or being a shoulder for you to cry on for that 30 seconds while you're on that elevator, that you pay me to push that button to ride on the elevator. That's a job, if that's what you want to do.
Makes sense.
So literally creating a college where people can take whatever God-given talents they have and use it for some benefit for themselves and ultimately for their community. Because if you that bad on the elevator, folks, I'm gonna come pay you, right, man? I just need somebody to talk to. I'm about to go see Elevator Man. Like, I gotta go see Elevator Man. Like, I'm gonna ride up to the top of the Sears Tower, because I know that whatever I'm going through, Elevator Man gonna be there to hear me out, and he gonna give me some great advice going up. And by the time I come off that elevator, I'm gonna be a new woman. Like, that's a business. Bars. That's a small business.
I gotta go on and say it, man. You dropping some jewels right now. Like, this is definitely some next level right here. I gotta give it to you.
I'm telling you, somebody
bars right now.
I hope nobody take my job.
Jewels, bars. This is great. Like, the audience, y'all can dissect this, study this interview. She's giving y'all the tours of life right now.
Well, I appreciate that, because I don't see it that way.
Look, learn, and listen.
We're just talking right now.
Pay attention.
We just chopping it up.
This is dope.
As my friends used to say back in the day, that this just a cipher. You feel me? Puff puff pass. Your thing went to low battery mode, but I just hit the button for you. I'm an iPhone user.
We edit that out. We ain't worried about that.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So we went into the purpose. You went into your. You went into the person. You went into the purpose. You let us know your plan. Gave out a lot of jewels, a lot of value to the people. Let them know how they could how they can contact you. I'll make sure I put all of your links in the description, but you can go and shout it out now. So
you can contact me on Facebook, Keishonda X. I'm the only one that's on Facebook. That's Keishonda X. Ooh, my hair is messed up, y'all. Why you ain't tell me? Keishonda X. You can contact the school at info@KikaFirstAcademy.org or actually KikaFirstAcademy@gmail.com. Kika First, kind of a funny name, but he's gonna put it, I guess, in the link down there. Right?
Yes,
it's gonna be below there.
Down there.
So you can get to us on Facebook, or you can get to our website. Yeah, so that's how you can get in touch with me.
Hey, y'all, there you go. You have it. People with a purpose, backed by a plan, powered by the Grindhouse Investment Group. Keishonda X. Y'all know what happened, man. I ain't got to say nothing else, man. She said it all. She did her thing.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, ma'am.